Baseline left, Joel. Baseline left, Joel Nelson puts up a shot, no good. Mike Bergman rebounds, dashes off the right side, puts it in the basket, and the Hawks are on the board, and we're on the air tonight here at 99 FM. And it's good to be with you. It's good to be visible in audio. 7:26 showing. Here's underneath. Feed goes deep inside for Ames of Brian Hansen. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Mike Bergman. Ames starting Mike Gabrielson, Brian Hansen out front, Monty Muller, Fred Hoiberg, and Jeff Isaacson inside. We'll tell you more about those players in a moment. We'll also have Bud Bergman's interview a little bit later, but we had major telco problems. Hansen goes out in front. Hoiberg puts up a feed at the high lobber inside that misses everybody, bounces out of bounds. Renning will inbound for the Hawks. They lead 2-0 with 7:19 in the first period.
Well, Ames is picking up man-to-man pressure, which we anticipated, and they're dropping back man-to-man.
And they're letting Andy Ott handle the ball for Waverly-Shell. Bounce pass Helmers in the corner, left-hand side. And the sub-state championship ball is knocked away from Helmers. Gabrielson is the man we thought had the quick hands. He does, and he tips it away from Helmers. Ames back on the attack. Instead, he drives around, puts the ball down on the floor. Ball is tipped away from behind, and a foul will be called on Scott Renning as Renning dug in and knocked the ball out.
Well, it looks like Waverly's going man-to-man their first two possessions down the floor, so Ames looked a little jittery coming in on their first two times they've had the ball. We'll see if they settle down.
6:55 in the first period. Ball belongs to Ames on the free throw line. Will be Brian Hansen.
Well, I don't know that. I don't think that was a shooting foul. I thought that occurred way before.
Shot is up off the rim. It is short and no good. Score stays 2-0 WSR. Second shot by Hansen is on the way. That one is in the basket, and he makes it. Safe. Full court pressure. Micro comes up to handle. Takes it sideline by the hash mark. Feeds back to Andy at the point. Right side, Chris Helmers. He's knocked out of bounds. Collision on the attempted steal on Mike Gabrielson.
Yeah, that time they went to a zone press after the free throw situation. A 1-2-1-1 quick trap. They're going to press Waverly. I think that's probably where Waverly's weakest spot. Ames has evidently picked it up in the scouting report.
Mike Bergman, the strongest spot for Waverly-Shell, takes the inbounds pass, drives to the dotted line, shots up, no. Rebound comes down to Renning, puts it up off the glass, won't drop. Rebound comes down Hoiberg of Ames. Clears out as Waverly-Shell drops back on the D. Hansen, right side feed goes into the middle. The big man Isaacson takes it right straight to the basket, shoots over Nelson, shots up short, no good. Rebound fought for far side, now tipped in from saving out of bounds in the corner. Gabrielson clears it into Muller, back to the top of the key. They walk to the right side with Brian Hansen. 2-1, your Go Hawks lead. 6:22 in the first period. Top of the key, Muller with the basketball. Looks for the high post, goes left-hand side as Hoiberg. Top of the key, Muller with the basketball. Looks for the high post, right. Muller, back wing, and they'll take it back out and set up the offense once again. Isaacson left side brings it right, getting from 18 feet out. Ringing the bell is Jeff Isaacson. Just about to say that looked like the flex offense that you've described to me, Coach Ray.
Yeah, that's it. Ames, that's a very popular offense right now.
Andy Ott across the double rings. Hawks are trailing 3-2. Joel Nelson, free throw line extended right, comes back to Helmers. Looking at a three-point range, goes in for Michael. Ball is tipped away, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Jeff Isaacson. That'll be Waverly-Shell ball. Yeah. Isaacson was fronting him just a little bit.
Well, it's got to be up. The pass has got to be higher. It was too low.
But otherwise, if it would have been a little bit higher, I think Michael had a clear run. Here's Helmers in the corner for three. Ball rattles in and out, no good. Rebound, Hoiberg comes loose, dug out of it on the left-hand side, though, by Ames. Across the timeline, Monty Muller stops at the top of the free throw circle. Hands off to Brian Hansen. Brings it back to Muller, top of the lane. Dumps off left-hand side, Hoiberg. Steps up to the arc, goes deep in the corner for Brian Hansen. Ball is knocked loose by Andy Ott. The first, 3-2, Ames leading. Top of the key, Hoiberg with it. Takes one step, free throw line extended left, stops at the dotted line. Pitches back on the right side to Monty Muller. Way out wing position, controlled by Isaacson. Two hands over the head. Isaacson drives on Nelson. Ball caught loose. Andy Ott comes up with it. Hawks on the 2-on-2 fast break. Nelson down the far line on the fly, but Andy won't try the risky pass. Ott takes it top of the key. Goes running on the right side. Feed goes inside Mike Bergman. He takes it towards the basket. There'll be a whistle and a foul called on the attempted steal. Jeff Isaacson draws his first.
Now, they got to get that pass up a little higher because they're getting the man in front of him still getting a piece of the ball, so you got to get it up over the top of him. That's an interesting matchup on Waverly. Chose to go with Bergman on their great sophomore Hoiberg. And so far, Hoiberg has kind of backed off a little bit, which is not unusual.
Chris Helmers out of the lineup. Now Matt Harken comes in for WSR. Ball belongs to Go Hawks. Baseline right comes in Andy Ott. Feeds back to Renning in the corner. He won't shoot. Goes into Harken. Free throw line extended. Breaks for the basket. Steps through traffic. Puts the ball up and in the basket. Matt Harken with his first 2 points this evening. And Waverly-Shell now leads 4-3. with 4:41 remaining in the first period. Hoiberg drives, free throw line right, dips down into the corner to Gabrielson. Bounce pass goes into the middle. Isaacson right side, puts it up. No, it's stolen away by Mike Bergman as he went up for the shot. And the yacht high alley-oop hits Nelson by the hash mark in the forward court. Cross-court pass. Here's Michael from the free throw line. Bingo! 6-3. WSR 4:18. Driving lane left side. Ames back on the return. Foul on Mike Bergman as Isaacson went in deep.
Well, the last two times now, Waverly's dropped to a 2-3 zone, and they got slow getting back. There was a little miscommunication on what defense they were in, I think. I don't know whether Bud just wanted one possession change up or whether he called for a 1-2-2 that time. I seen his signal.
6-3, Waverly-Shell Rock leads. 4:17. We're in the first period tonight on the KWAY stations, 99 FM and KWAY AM 1470. Ames with the ball. The shooter is Isaacson. First shot is up and it's good. Makes it a 4-6 lead for the Hawks with 4:17. That's a second team foul on both ball clubs. Isaacson for the second one now. Flips the wrist. That one is off the iron. No. Rebound. Oh, we had two Go Hawks battling for it. Renning and Harken both went after it. End result, ball out of bounds. Underneath the basket belongs to Ames. Here, a capacity crowd here tonight, Coach Ray. I think they came for more than just Ames and Waverly to see this one.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a beautiful facility to play in. It's just great architecture, especially when it was built. This is not a new architecture. Somebody was looking into the future when they built this.
The big roundhouse tonight. And here's a turnaround jumper by the top of the paint, put up by Hoiberg of Ames. It is no good. Rebound, Mike Bergman. Dashes coast to coast, stops free throw line, finds Nelson at the corner, ducks down low, goes up, shot is off the edge of the bangboard, no good. Renning comes down with it deep in the corner right. Gets it out to Otter. Pushes left side, Joel Nelson working at the high alley-oop inside for Bergman, swats it away, puts it up in the basket, he pulls it out of the air and took it away from Ted Kavanaugh, the reserve, and put it in the basket.
Well, I think somebody had a breakdown on defense there because he was all by himself on the weak side and they just lobbed it to him.
Score stands 8-4. WSR. 3:33. Clock descending in the first period. Ball belongs to the Ames Cyclones. Right-hand side, Kavanaugh controlling. WSR switching defenses. Pass goes inside. Now dumps out Kavanaugh deep in the corner. Puts one up off the iron. No. Harken ruling the inbound. Gets the outlet pass. We got a 2-on-1 fast break. And the out bounce pass goes over to Nelson a little bit behind him. Joel saves it at the blocks. Gets it back out front for Renning. Top of the key. Controlled by Andy Yacht now. Hawks lead 8-4, 3:12 in the first period. Renning, alley-oop inside, going for Harken. Ball is knocked loose, tipped around. Hoiberg comes down with it for Ames. Outlet pass on the 2-on-1. Dishes off on the slam jam. Return back to Hoiberg. Feet from Gabrielson, and he slams it in.
Oh, I don't know. They called him on an offensive foul, but the contact was after the basket. It should have been a no call. Should have been a no call.
The Ames fans are hooting and hollering. Well, so are the Waverly fans, too. They're loving every minute of it.
Well,
we got to agree with you. I thought it was after the shot.
It was after the shot, and that's supposed to be a no call when he's underneath the basket there drawing the contact after the kid lays it in. That's supposed to be a no call.
3 minutes showing, 8-4 WSR in the first. Michael Bergman across the timeline left goes to Helmers, standing out by the double rings. He'll move to his left-hand side. Wants to feed in for Michael, can't go to him. Instead comes for Renning. High alley-oop inside Bergman. He steps around Harrison. Ball is knocked loose, though, stripped away inside by Kavanaugh. Outlet on the left side. Ball remains to Ames. Bounce pass out in front. Here's Isaacson. Shot, no. Rebound right side. Put up again. Gabrielson. No good. Ball comes down to Waverly-Shell Rock. Controlled by Mike Bergman. Hawks still leading 8-4. 2:27 in the first. Helmers across the timeline. Top of the key. Looks in. Bounce pass goes down for Harken. Bad pass thrown right into the hands of Hoiberg. He pulls up, and the troops are not going to get a fast break this time. Hoiberg, left side, though. He's driving in. Puts it on the fly. Bingo! He hit it left side from about 8 feet.
Yeah, well, Helmers picked the ball up, and that's one of the things you don't want your point guard to do is pick that ball up and not know where the pass is going.
Mike Bergman straddling the line on the inbounds pass, brings it across the timeline, now moves in, shake and bake, driving from 12. Oh, what a nice touch! Flies through the air and puts it in for his 8th point, and the Hawks maintain a 10-6 lead with 1:50 in the first period. Ames with the basketball. Hoiberg looks left, goes right, tries to drive. Ball is knocked loose from behind. Foul called on Chris Helmers, reaching in. First one on Christopher.
Well, Waverly's gone to a 1-2-2 zone, and it looks like it's not. I thought they were doing a pretty good job in their man-to-man when they were in it, but I think they just wanted to change it up. Holberg's getting a little bit looser in the zone defense, and they may switch back because Bergman, I thought he had him contained pretty well.
Score stands 10-6, Waverly-Shell Rock with 1:54 in the first period. Ball belongs to Ames on the far sideline. Little Cyclones will inbound. Kavanaugh handling at the wing left. Goes right side for Adam Langston doing the ball game, too.
They went back man-to-man, Bob.
Now here's Hoiberg from the free throw line. Shots up, no good. Langston rebounds underneath. Ball knocked loose. Turns around. Harken puts up a follow. No go. A lot of white shirts in there. Michael tips it around. Ball loose on the floor. Who's going to dig it out? Mike Bergman does. Outlet pass for Renning. Hawks have got the fast break. Throws down the floor to Andy. Bounce pass back to Wren. Up and in the basket. Shot running and put it in the hole. It's 12-6. Hawks by a six-pack. 1:08 showing in the first period. Shake and bake down low. Shut off Isaacson, and he travels. Good defense by the Hawks.
I'll tell you, there's nobody down on the taking the ball to Bergman's side. That post player is not a tough enough post player to stop Bergman.
12-6. Waverly-Shell Rock leading with a minute. Jeff Bridges in the ball game. First period action tonight on KWAY and 99 FM. Right side, Andy Ott looks in for Michael on the alley-oop. He'll take it. Base shot down, 10 points, and a 14-6 Go Hawk lead with 47 seconds in the first. Ames back answering. Langston goes bounce pass down low. Baseline taking it to the basket all the way. It is Jeff Isaacson. Good ball player. Hits it about a 6-foot jump shot on his face, and he didn't have the best angle either. He had sunk below the plane of the bang board.
Right.
14-8, 6-point lead Hawks. Alley-oop to Bergman again. He puts it baseline right a little bit.
Fouls in a hurry early in the ball game, and he's got to stay out of that.
Joel Nelson in.
There's just nobody, Bob, that's going to stay with him, and he's been fighting a little bit of a chest.
To Bergman again. He puts it baseline right a little.
Well, he's been prone to get those 2 fouls in a hurry early in the ball game, and he's got to stay out of that.
Joel Nelson in.
There's just nobody, Bob, that's going to stay with him, and he's been fighting a little bit of a chest cold, and nobody knows it. And his endurance is down a little bit, so Bud told me tonight they may have to rest him a little bit.
22 seconds left in the first. Hawks are up 14-8. Ames will have the ball following the second foul on Bergman, 4th team foul on Waverly-Shell Rock. Across the timeline, Hoiberg now standing at the post, comes to the right-hand side. Isaacson, bounce pass. Andy pushes it across the floor with 4 seconds. Behind the back dribble, double ring. Goes to Nelson with 1. Let's do it, a 25-footer. The referee says no go anyway. Said it was not in the air by the time the horn blew. But that concludes the rapid-fire first quarter, and we're glad we were able to hop up and get it on the air for you tonight here at the KWAY stations. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Your store for hardware, small appliances, tools, paint, and other things should be Miller True Value Hardware in Waverly. True Value is celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. So Miller True Value... You always find a true value. M&W Laundry and Dry Cleaners. Personal service is their business. Highland Laundromat, where you can wash and dry your washables. Remember M&W Dry Cleaners for your dry cleaning and Highlander Laundry for your everyday washing. Collegetown Plaza, Waverly.
Back with you live in Marshalltown. Waverly-Shell Rock leads at the end of the first quarter, 14-8 over the Ames Cyclones. Ames hit 3 of 11 for 27% in the first quarter. Waverly-Shell Rock collected on 7 of 13 for 54%. And the Hawks are leading 14-8. Halftime, we'll hear from Bud Bergman tonight here on the KWAY station. High lob pass goes inside for Hoiberg. He skies to get it, but it's thrown away by Kent Cavanaugh. Completely missed his man inside.
Well, he's a good look.
Have the basketball and a chance to escalate the lead. Otter brings it left-hand side. Senior Joe Bock in the contest now. Bock on the wing left, goes back out front, top of the key. They push it around to Otter in the corner on the right. Bock standing, free throw line right. Left side for Joel Nelson. Handling the ball, goes back to Harken out at the point. Ott brings to Bridges, standing in the double ring. Goes left-hand side. Nelson one step towards the lane. Bridges, Ott standing top of the free throw line. Left side for Matt Harken now. Hawks with a lot of motion in the offense. Deep in the corner left. Pass goes to Harken, baseline left. Andy out on the wing position. He'll dribble into the free throw line. Dotted line, puts up a shot. He draws the foul inside also against Kent Cavanaugh, his first. And that, I believe, will be the 4th team foul on Ames.
Yeah, he'll be shooting, too. They got him in the act. They had a lot of motion, running some type of passing game. I couldn't quite tell whether it was a 5-man game or not, but it definitely wasn't a flex offense because they didn't run any undercuts. So it just looked like a 5-man motion game.
14-8, WSR. Ott on the line. First shot rattles and comes out. Mike Bergman with 10 points leading Waverly-Shell Rock. He's resting for the moment. Matt Harken with 2 and Scott Renning with 2. Second shot by Andy Ott is up, and that one is good. So 4 in the second period. Kavanaugh will handle. Goes Isaacson at the point, back to Kavanaugh, standing between the rings. Right-hand side, Langston wants to go inside if he can to Isaacson. Turn around baseline right. Isaacson over Bock, no good. Nelson is all alone in there, rebounds and claims it for the Hawks. Outlet right side, and Andy Ott dashes across the double rings. Pushes it down. Left side, Joe Bock looking for 3. Joseph, shot is up, no good. Harken sticks an arm in. He'll get the foul on the rebound.
Yeah.
Oh, Matthew.
Yeah, he came over the back. I don't know whether was that Bock shot. You've seen him play more.
I haven't seen Joe Bock take a three-point shot too frequently here.
I haven't seen him play.
Why?
I love his long arms on defense.
Hey, he'll get his share of rebounds, and he'll also block a few. He'll dig out some loose balls for you with those long arms.
And that wins ball games for you, Bob.
You betcha. 15 foul on WSR. First one on Matt Harken with 6:40 in the second. The Hawks leading 15-8. It will put the shooter, Fred Hoiberg, on the free throw line. Shot is up, and that one will go through. It's a 15-9 game. 6:40 in the second. Waverly-Shell Rock advantage. Second shot by Hoiberg is up. That one's short, no good. Joe Bock, the man we talked about, gets the rebound. Looks for Andy, can't do it on the press, so Bock will clear it up to at least the defensive side of the double rings. Pitches it back to Otter. He'll take it across timeline. Dumps off right-hand side. Bridges saves it from out of bounds deep in the right. Wants to go into Nelson if he can. Throws it out in front. Ball is tipped loose. Cannot be controlled by Brian Hansen, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Well, Ott delivered the ball too soon because he was free coming down the lane, and nobody picked him up, and he tried to pass the ball before anybody stopped him. He should have kept going and pulled up and shoot.
WSR leads with 6:23. Here's Bergman back, shake and bake, baseline right. It was so pretty, and it goes through, and it's 12 points for Mike Bergman.
Yeah, as soon as he puts the ball down, there's 3 white jerseys going for him.
17-9. Hawks up by 8 with 6 and 11 in the second period. Gabrielson goes on the right wing position to Hansen. Fakes left, comes back right, pitches out in front. Gabrielson tries to penetrate. Ball stolen by Ott. Hits Bridges on the fast break. Will David take it in? He does, and he scores!
All right, a nice one.
Waverly-Shell Rock now leads by 10, 19-9. Ames with a basketball, mishandled baseline. Gabrielson out of bounds as he drove in for the basket, partially possibly tipped by Andy Ott or Bridges, and Ames wants timeout. And we'll take a timeout, too, with a 19-9 WSR lead. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back with 5 in the roundhouse, Marshalltown. Waverly-Shell Rock in the sub-state game. On offense, it's 19-9 Hawks, 5:41 in the second. 23 zone put up by Ames. Mike Bergman in the corner, baseline left, hits an 18-footer. That's how to deal with the 23 zone. And the Hawks are up 21-9 with 5.5 in the second.
Well, Ames is going to have to get more aggressive on their defense if they're going to shut Waverly off, because Waverly's really
comes right side deep in the corner for Gabrielson. Hansen pushes it out in front. Looks like Muller wants to shoot. Instead, he brings it right wing for Hansen. Looks down deep in the corner. Gabrielson rim it in and out, no good. Mike Bergman comes down with the rebound, hits it on Bock's shoulder, recovers again. Goes outset to the right side for Andy Ott. Otter pushes across the timeline, wing for Bergman, or rather for Bridges. Brings it top of the key. Otter bounce pass left. Joe Bock steps up, goes down in front for Andy. It's tipped though by Marshalltown. Foot race underway. It'll be recovered by Muller. He drives on the layup, and he'll put it in.
Well, just mishandled the ball out in front against the zone. You got to be careful of standing against the zone, Bob, because they'll anticipate the passing lanes on you and step through and get a few easy ones.
21-11, Waverly-Shell leads by 10 with 4:37 in the second. Michael, baseline corner, shots up, no. Bock tries to tip, over his reach. Marty Muller comes down with it. Muller on the outlet left, half-court pass, Hansen down the lane, pump and shoot, and he'll rattle it in the basket.
Well, when you don't know what defense the opponents are in, then you get out and run it first. And I'm sure that's what Ames said. They want to get into their zone and get a running game going.
21-13 WSR, and timeout has been called by Bud Bergman of Waverly-Shell. The Hawks are leading. We're back in a minute.
Week only at Miller True Value Hardware in Waverly during the 40th anniversary. Hurry, supplies are limited.
Hawks are leading 21-13 over Ames. 4 minutes in the second period. Bridges running the point for Waverly-Shell. Comes Helmers. He wants three. That's off the mark. No. Mike Bergman rebounds, baseline, spins, puts it back up, banks it in, left-handed shot. Mike Bergman has got 16 points.
That was a big basket. That stops runs, and that's what you need to do when you're out ahead.
And Ames had 4 on that. Chris Helmers comes up with it. Brings it across the circle. Left side Renning. Looks in for Nelson. Brings it top of the key. Helmers fires for Michael. Dotted line. Shake and bake. No. Out front for Helmers. Looking for three. Coming!
That was a big one.
Another big.
That was a big one.
Another big one. 26-13.
Another big one.
Hawks are up by 13 with 3:27 in the second. Hoiberg in the corner for Ames. Back on the offensive attack. Brings it around to Muller. Comes right-hand side, controlled by Hansen. Muller wants three of his own. Rims out, no. Ball comes down. Waverly-Shell left side, Chris Helmers. Helmers at the point. Left side for Renning. One dribble, fakes the penetration. Goes back top of the key for Helmers. Left side, Renning back to Helmers. Steps way out now. They got the time. 23 zone still employed by Ames. They'll give Helmers the three. Shot is up off the iron. Double kiss, triple kiss.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel, it went through.
Let's go get him while we can, huh?
You betcha, brother. 29-13. Hawks up by 16 points with 2:48 in the second period.
Still a 1-2
period.
Still a 1-2-2 zone.
Hawks attempted steal Renning. Doesn't get it. Still Hansen controlling. Fires deep in the corner, right side for Isaacson. Hoiberg from the paint puts it up. No. Rebounds his own shot. Baseline. Shots up. Won't drop. Knocked out of bounds on the rebound. Tipped away by Brian Hansen. And the Hawks get the basketball back.
All right. When you're on a run like that, Bob, you need to make the most of it before the other. There's going to be runs periodically throughout the ball game. But if you can get a big enough one, then it's very, very difficult to come back because then you can stop the momentum. If you make that first one, I think it's so important in a basketball game that you're the team that makes the first run.
29-13. Waverly-Shell up by 16 with 2:34 in the second period. No press put on by Ames as the inbounds Renning and Helmers. Helmers across the double circle goes right side for Renning. Scooter two-hand over the head. Goes deep in the corner, Nelson. Back to Renning on the wing. Pushes around top of the key for Helmers. Fires inside. Harken. Baseline left. Feeds out Bridges. He'll take an 18-footer, and it will come off the iron. No. Rebounded right, though, by Nelson. Joel turns back around. Spins it in the basket.
Well, Ames switched to a 1-3-1 zone. And side board covered.
31-13 Hawks. Ames back on offense. Ball belonging in the left corner to Brian Hansen. Hands off to Hoiberg over there. Two hands over the head. Still controlled wing position left by Cavanaugh. Hoiberg in the corner. Cavanaugh brings it top of the key for Gabrielson. Right hand side. Looking in as two posts up. He'll drive in. Dumps out back top of the key. Gabrielson. Bounce pass right side. Hoiberg puts up a three-footer. Three-pointer. It's no good by Hoiberg. Hawks have got the ball back. Helmers with it. Comes left side for Bridges. Looks in for Hart. Can't go to him. Instead, they'll walk it around the perimeter. Deep in the corner, right is Nelson. He has room to the baseline. Puts a shot up a little bit weak. When Harken powers up, gets the rebound. Follow-up shot won't go. Ball tipped loose. Renning recovers baseline left. Comes to Harken. Bounce pass out front Bridges. Hawks are leading 31-13 with a minute 24. Halftime coming up. Renning, left side, a little bit too hard. That's okay. Joel's there, down on the floor once. Tries to get room, can't. Has to fire out in front for Bridges. He'll put one up. Double bounce off. No good. Whistle inside. Elbow pushing foul called on Brian Hansen of Ames.
Almost looked intentional to me. It almost looked a frustration intentional foul.
31-13. Waverly-Shell Rock leading with 1:14 in the second period.
Well, with the luxury, Bob, they got Bergie out of there now, resting with an 18-point lead and resting him up. I'll tell you, he's looked tough tonight, though, hasn't he?
Oh, he's looked tough tonight, but I still feel that there aren't going to be too many blowouts in a sub-state game.
Oh.
These guys are going to come back.
Oh, yeah.
Rattle in and out. Harken's shot is no good. Rebound comes down right side to Jeff Isaacson. So Ames has the ball with 1:10 remaining in the half. 31-13 Waverly-Shell Rock. Left side, Kavanaugh. Bounce pass comes to the right side for Isaacson. Pushes deep in the corner. Langston, he wants to drive in. Puts it up in the lane. No good. Rebound comes down to Bridges. Has to expend his dribble to get out of trouble. Gets it to Helmers, and now he'll slow it down. 54 seconds remain. And now he'll slow it down. 54 seconds remain.
Ames really looked out of control on offense. They switched back to a man-to-man that time, and that was just shots were just throwing up. I think they were... they didn't know what defense they were in, and they've been having problems all night with it.
Helmers in the delay. Now it goes to Nelson deep in the corner right. Fires in for Harken. Back door's wide open. He slips through and slams the door and makes the basket, and the Hawks now lead 33-13 with 30 seconds left in the half. Isaacson. Hawk fans up chanting for defense. Ken Kavanaugh. Controlling on the wing. Fires Hoiberg. Top of the key. Back to Kavanaugh. Looks for Hoiberg. Free throw line extended right. Returns to Kavanaugh. Bounce pass down left for Isaacson. Turn around baseline. And finally, Ames gets a score on the board. That's only their 6th point in the second quarter with 4 seconds. Nelson will put up a 15-footer. It's a little shot. No good. It's flat. Nelson's on the butt, on his butt on the ground. But it ends. I mean, how else can you say it, right? He's not on his back.
You got her out. You got her out.
There was a quick morality judgment there. And it is now 33-15. Waverly-Shell Rock leading at halftime. And we'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. Stay tuned for Waverly-Shell Rock in the tournament.
General Machine and Tool Company in Waverly.
Hoiberg and bounce pass back to Monty Muller. He'll bring it across the timeline. Walks it over to the right side for Brian Hansen. Hansen near the hash mark. Takes one step towards the baseline. They bring it back to the perimeter. Gabrielson, left side of the bubble, goes to Hoiberg. Looking inside for his postman. Michael down there playing B. No basket in there, so they'll bring it back out top of the key for Monty Muller. Reverse the flow to the right side for Gabrielson. He'll step on the horn again as they reverse the flow. Gabrielson deep in the corner. Shots up no good. Comes out long. Andy Ott comes down with the rebound, and Ott pushes it up the floor. Down court pass for Mike Bergman. Break. Pass goes deep in the corner right for Isaacson. Comes down with the rebound, and Ott pushes it up the floor. Down court pass for Mike Bergman. Break in for the basket. Double pump. Shots up. No. Harkins in the middle. Go. Gets the rebound and lays it in the basket. What a great position.
Well, they got her out and down, and Ames was caught sleeping getting back. And
37. Right side, controlled by Antioch. Dishes inside for Harken. Baseline right, shots up. No, Joel Nelson rebounds, pushes it right back in, though. He's been rebounding like a wild man.
He really has. They're just not keeping him off the board at all. He's just stepping baseline and coming back out on his man.
Here's Ames with a man open on the baseline right on the backdoor play. Turnaround shot is up, no good by Hansen. Air ball. Rebound comes down Harken. Outlet goes to Renning as Renning tries to push it up the floor. I think we're seeing a frustration foul to begin the half called on the postman, Monty Muller.
Yeah, I think you're seeing some intimidation on defense, too. The post people from Waverly are really intimidating the Ames shooters.
Mike Bergman led the Hawks with 16 in the first half. 6 for Chris Helmers, 2 for Scott Renning, 4 for Joel Nelson now, 2 for Dave Bridges, and 4 for Matt Harken. Hawks with the basketball. They lead 35-15 with 7:17. Hunter wants a three-point in the corner. Shot is up, rattles. No, nobody underneath except white shirts. Rebound comes down to Isaacson. Hoiberg and bounce pass back to Monty Muller. He'll bring it across the timeline. Walks it over to the right side for Brian Hansen. Hansen near the hash mark, takes one step towards the baseline. They bring it back to the perimeter. Gabrielson, left side of the bubble, goes to Hoiberg. Looking inside for his postman. Michael down there playing D. No basket in there, so they'll bring it back out top of the key for Monty Muller. Reverse the flow to the right side for Gabrielson. He'll step inside the arc. Around the horn again as they reverse the flow. Gabrielson deep in the corner. Shots up no good. Comes out long. Andy Ott comes down with the rebound, and Ott pushes it up the floor. Down court pass for Mike Bergman. Break in for the basket. Double pump. Shots up. No. Harkins in the middle, though. Gets the rebound and lays it in the basket. What a great position.
Well, they got her out and down, and Ames was caught sleeping, getting back, and
37-15 Hawks. 6:23. Baseline right. Shot up by Ames. Hoiberg on the rebound. Dancing fall down. He's hit by Nelson. Fouled on Joel.
Well, Joel didn't know it, but if he wouldn't have touched him, he'd have ended up traveling because he was off balance, falling backwards when he got that ball. Waverly looks like they're come out and ready to play basketball again, and they just can't let up. When you're in this big a ball game, it's full goal till the end of the ball game, no matter what the score is.
6:19 in the third. Your Go Hawks lead 37-15. Hoiberg on the line for Ames. Shot is up. Rattles in and out. No. Dave Ray and I will be covering Wapsie Valley and NU High in the state tournament next week. We'll tell you more about that here in a little bit as Hoiberg makes his first shot. Now has 4 points on the evening. 37-16 Hawks with 6:17. Mike Bergman takes it coast to coast. Bounce pass underneath Harken. Open on the back door. Bangs it right in.
That's the way you beat the press.
Michael drew all the traffic and bounce pass deep in the corner right. Jeff Isaacson. Here's looking for about an 18-foot jumper on the wing. Monty Muller will score for Ames. His 4th point on the evening.
He's starting to pick up with a zone trap. They have to do something to get the momentum changed here.
39-18 Waverly-Shell Rock. 5:49 in the third period. Ott, top of the key. Looks left, goes right, penetrates, dotted line. Ball knocked away, out of bounds. Belongs to Waverly-Shell Rock. Last touch possibly by Hoiberg or maybe Muller at the point there.
Yeah, it went off one of the Ames players.
39-18, 21-point lead, Go Hawks with 5:42 in the third. Inbounds pass comes to Michael, dotted line left. They push it back to the right side for Harken. He'll take a 15-footer, rattles up and in. No, it comes out. Michael rebounds, baseline left, and touches it back in. We're whipping them on the boards offensively.
That really surprises me that we're hitting the boards that tough. Ames looks big and strong enough to keep them off the boards. If they're ranked that high, they've had to play some tough competition in that Des Moines Metro League, and but they're sure not keeping Waverly off the boards right now.
41-18 Go Hawks, 5:17 in the third. Top of the key, pass goes in, Isaacson. Renning was trying to deny the ball. He'll reach in and foul it.
I'll tell you why they're having so much trouble, because after a made basket, Waverly's dropping back into a man-to-man, but they're making it look like a zone defense. And they're giving it a little disguised look, and they're sagging way off until their men start moving around. So they're doing a pretty good change-up job on them.
41-18, Waverly-Shell Rock leading Ames with 5:14 in the third. Ball belongs to the Little Cyclones. Ball goes into the corner. Hoiberg, top of the key for 3. No, he won't shoot. Instead goes right side of the bubble to Monty Muller. Beats down baseline right. Isaacson, shot is up, 12-footer. He's now got 9 points. Running slower down, run the offense. Ott, left side. Michael, he doesn't want to slow. Goes baseline. They give it to him. Underhanded pump, no good. Ball squirts out. Ott saves it on the rebound. Free throw line right. Right side Renning, feeds back into Mike Bergman. Ball is rejected. Renning returns back to Bergman. Bergman in the paint, takes it to the basket, lays it up over everybody. Basket's in. He is fouled. Mike Bergman scores.
He wants it tonight. You can tell it. He wants it tonight. He's taking her.
You give him the ball, he is going to penetrate and go as far as you'll give him, and then he'll try to get an inch more before he passes off. Timeout called by Ames, and they need it 43-20. Hawks lead with 4:40 remaining in the third, and we'll be back. It's 44-22, go Hawks. Heavy pressure, Michael dribbles through it all. Across the timeline. 20. Ames with the basketball. Used to the same colors and everything for the Bobcats. Of course, they're more. For his 21st point in the game. Line, he was fouled in the act of shooting. He makes it. Mike Bergman on the line. He was fouled in the act of playing a white team. When they come down here, Mike Bergman on the line. He was fouled in the act of shooting. He makes it for his 21st point in the game, and Waverly-Shell Rock now leads 44-20. Ames with the basketball. Now to his left, 2 dribbles, bounce pass inside, ball knocked loose by Bergman. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. First 2 points of the evening for Cavanaugh. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. Bounce pass inside, ball knocked loose by Bergman. Cavanaugh recovers, baseline left, 15-footer, and he rings the bell. First 2 points of the evening for Cavanaugh of Ames, and it's 44-22, go Hawks. Heavy pressure, Michael dribbles through it all, comes across the timeline, change of pace, takes it coast to coast, bounce pass Nelson, breaks to the basket, lays it in on the feed.
Well, I'll tell you, he's doing it all. Taking the ball down the floor versus the press, getting assists, rebounding, playing defense, putting the ball in the hole.
Man's giving a clinic, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Here's Hoiberg, left side, baseline, brings it back out. Pass goes in the middle, turnaround jumper in the paint. It's off the rim, and it is in. Steve Klein in the ball game. First time we've seen Klein. On 2, fast break, comes back opposite end. Here's Joel Nelson inside. Oh, he lays it up on the rim. It hangs there for an eternity and drops forward.
Nice soft touch.
48-24 WSR with 3:36 in the third period. Ames with the basketball, back on the O now. Cavanaugh feeds inside. Double clutch fake. Isaacson shots up, no. Ball partially tipped. Hoiberg lays it in finally on the left-hand side.
Something happened to Bergman. I don't know if he got a shot in the ribs or...
I think he might have got an elbow. Robin Knapp is spotting down the booth here from us and indicates that that's what happened. I'm sure we'll see somebody come in for a moment. Bridges is in, but I don't think he's coming for Michael. 48-26, Hawks up by 22, 3:22 in the third period. A trip to Des Moines, a ticket to Vets.
Can't play with
on the line.
You can't play with
Got to get somebody off, and the person now we are getting Mike off. So Nelson and Harken will be your 2 post people. Boy, Bergman wants to stay in there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's all right.
Yeah, he'll be okay. He just got a little oop in the solar plexus, and now the officials are indicating they want to come over and talk to the timer. 3:22 in the third. Are they checking?
They're probably just checking to make sure that the right substitution was made.
Now announcing something that the Go Hawk fans seem to approve of. 48-26 the score. Hawks 3:22 in the third. Inbounds pass stolen by Cavanaugh, though, as the inbounds comes in from Renning. Did it hit the bottom of the bangboard of the ball, and also foul will be called on another reserve in the ball game now, Tom Jensen. So Jensen will get the foul for Ames.
Well, they're going to total deny pressure here. Out of bounds, man-to-man, total deny.
Well, they've got reserves in doing it too, so they're burning off a few fouls, maybe. 48-28, in hopes of stealing the ball. And they picked up a cheap basket off it. Baseline right, Renning to inbound. We've got 2 up there to go for it. Renning 3, 4, gets it in, cross the timeline. Michael breaks it down the floor for Bridges. Stutters on the left-hand side. They'll call him for traveling. He didn't have control.
Yeah. When you're stretching out like that, just catch the ball and get your feet planted first.
Yeah, he was trying to break for the basket. He wanted to go for the layup. 48-28, Go Hawks, 3:05. Ames on their feet now. They've caused a couple of turnovers with their pressure defense. Monty Muller goes left side for Hoiberg. Back out top of the corner. Kavanaugh fakes the three, steps across the arc, shots up. He got the one that comes alive for the Cyclones. It's 48-30, Hawks by 18. Inbounds pass goes Renning. He's got Kavanaugh on him, takes it down, top of the key. Outstanding on the wing right. Takes it back top of the key, shovels off way deep on the wing for Bridges. Alley-oop inside Bergman, knocked out of bounds. Foul called on Hoiberg inside. He hit him.
Bergman a lot quicker now. Plus, Ames has really stepped up their defensive pressure. And they're really starting to come out after Waverly-Shell Rock.
48-30, Hawks did lead by 22. It's been shaved to 18. 2:33 in the third period.
I think, Bob, they were up 23 at one time, was their biggest lead so far. And now you got to be careful now. They're picking up the intensity, and if you can hold your lead right here before the end of the quarter, that can shut down the rally.
Inbounds Bridges, baseline right for the Go Hawks. Finds Renning in the corner, but it's hit, touched, knocked out of bounds by Hoiberg. Still belongs to Waverly-Shell Rock in the far corner. I believe they'll let Bridges handle it again. Yep. So it'll be on the far corner baseline. Comes in Chris Helmers back in the ball game. Haven't seen him much in the third quarter, so we got a rested guard. Nelson on the wing, hands off to Renning. One step, still standing way on the right wing. Bounce pass goes down low for Nelson. Joel takes it one step towards the bucket, goes high. Alley-oop in for Bergman. Follow tip won't go. Follow-up shot won't drop. Partially blocked. And we've got Hoiberg on
the arm, but the official didn't see it that way, so you go down and play defense.
48-30, WSR. Kavanaugh trying to cut it. Left side three-pointer up, no good. Rebound comes down Bridges. Incidental contact. That's okay. No harm in the foul. Helmers across the timeline left. Ball is tipped and stripped away out in front by Kavanaugh. That'll be second foul on him.
Okay, Kavanaugh showed some quickness there. He was past Helmers before Helmers could pick the basketball up. He almost lost her.
Instead, Chris will go to the free throw line. 48-30. Hawks up by 18 with 1:59 in the third period. And that is the 15th foul in this period on Ames. As Helmers puts it down for the 1-and-1. He makes the first one. Needed that one big time, Christopher. Thank you, buddy. That's 7 now for Chris Helmers. Tonight's game brought to you by the Bremwood Children's Home, Dykey Implements, as well as Waverly Newspapers and GNR Publishing, Rada Manufacturing, as Helmers hits the next free throw, and the Hawks go up 50-30 with 1:59 in the third.
We needed that to stop that run.
Kavanaugh will bring it across the timeline, way on the right sideline. Standing in the wing, alley-oop goes inside, down low, Isaacson. He loses control and finally tips it out left side, Gabrielson. Ames Hoiberg, turn around, dotted line jumper, rattles in and out, no. Fight for the rebound, Nelson tips it, ball is loose, scrambling for it, knocked out of bounds, last touch by Joel Nelson.
Oh, that's too bad. There was a loose ball and everybody was going for it. It just happened to go off of Waverly's hands first. Both teams were hustling hard for the ball.
Ames baseline right to inbound, slap of the ball, inbounds it comes, deep in the corner right for Isaacson, goes for three. Shot is in there. They'll let him set, he'll get it. And it's now 50-32 left in the third. Here goes Scott Renning across the timeline left, met at the timeline, tough D by Gabrielson. Ball tapped away, Renning reaching in, foul on Gabrielson. They will go for the ball. Bud Bergman, I don't know if we got that far in our little interview with them, but they are a team that likes to dig in and reach and cause those turnovers out at the point.
Now, they didn't do it in the first half. They didn't come out aggressively there in the first half, but they sure have the second half come out and start reaching there really after a tough man-to-man, and I think Waverly's got to be careful here and protect the basketball and stick it inside. Just keep sticking it in there to your man until they stop him.
Renning on the free throw line. Shot is up, and it's off the iron. No, but it's rebounded. Mike Bergman in the paint. He's got trouble. It's ball knocked loose. They don't have any air in the whistle. Ball comes down, and Renning can't hang on to it. It's hit out of his hand. Falls down off his toe and out of bounds.
It was off of Renning.
Yep, I think it was. Tonight's game also brought to you by Wrestler's Family Hairstyling, Dorfman Auto, your Napa Man, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Mini Storage, and Ramter Building Supply.
Well, right now they got her down to 17, and they're under that 18 mark at halftime, so you've got to be careful right here.
50-33, Waverly-Shell Rock with 1:08 in the third period. Pass goes Hoiberg. Dotted line turnaround jumper. Shot is off the iron. No. Rebound kicked around. Comes out. Mike Bergman pushing.
Oh, I don't know. I thought he hit inside, but...
Foul on Mike Bergman. That's his third.
You know, Michael's smart enough, I hope, all game.
1:03 remaining in the third. 50-33 WSR. Inbounds pass, top of the key. Comes into Gabrielson. He'll take it to the free throw line. Dumps off left Hoiberg. Beats deep in the corner. They're going to try some three-point. Shot is up and blocked. Hansen shot totally rejected by Renning. Swatted into the first row of fans.
Nelson in. I'd probably rest Bergie here for a little bit, but I don't think he's going to keep him on the bench too long if this lead starts to shrink. He just can't afford to in a big ball game.
Bergman leaves the game with 21. Inbounds pass left. Gabrielson bounce into Hoiberg in the paint. Puts it up. 6-foot shot is right in the basket. 8 points for Hoiberg. It's a 35 Waverly-Shell Rock lead. Helmers, left side Bridges, goes down for Nelson, break into the basket, shots up too hard, no, Nelson rebounds, knocked down, falls, Hoiberg picks it up on the fast break. We got a 2-on-1, here's the driving layup, off the front of the rim, no, whistle, offensive foul, called on by Gabrielson as he plowed into Chris Helmers. Chris stood there and took the charge like a man.
He was set, there was no doubt about it. The official never even hesitated. It was a good call.
50-35, WSR by 15. 32 seconds in the third period. Inbounds pass comes to Helmers. On the feedback to Renning. It's knocked loose. Renn has it tipped away from him from behind. It comes up to the timeline. Out of bounds. Last touch by Ames.
I'll tell you where they miss Bergie a lot is when he's on the bench and against that pressure. He really helps bringing that ball down the floor.
50-35, WSR. With 27 seconds remaining, Hawks have the ball in the forward court. Nelson out at the wing. Hands off to Helmers directly behind him. 21 seconds. Look for one. Going to Harken. He's being fronted. Nelson, top of the free throw circle. Right side Renning. Dishes off right for Chris. He'll take the three. It comes off the iron. No. Nelson. He's got two on him. He dumps into the corner for Harken. Matt is caught. He fires in for Nelson. He turns around. Ball is kicked loose, and we got a whistle foul called inside. Foul is called inside by Brian Hansen. That'll be the second as he knocked the ball away from Nelson as he turned to go, and he'll go to the line.
I didn't think that was a wise decision on that first shot with about, what was it, 12 seconds, 13 seconds left. They should have ran for the one shot, but I don't know whether the guards didn't see the clock or what. But that was if they could have missed that, and Ames went down, scored, and cut that thing down to 13. They're on the run.
Nelson on the free throw line. He'll make the shot.
Big one, a very big one.
Well, you get to the point in a game like this when you're out in front, everyone is a big one because as every auto and boat racer will tell you, the object of the game is get out in front and then improve your position. 52-35, Hawks. All right. Down the floor, a desperado by Ames. Does not go. And it's 52-35, Waverly-Shell Rock. And we'll be back after these messages in 60 seconds. You're listening to Waverly.
Remember M&W Dry Cleaners for your dry cleaning and Highlander Laundry for your everyday washing. Collegetown Plaza, Waverly.
Returning to the roundhouse in Marshalltown as third quarter begins. Ames will have the ball. Baseline left drive by Brian Hansen. He will score to collect now his 5th point, and the score is now 52-37 Waverly-Shell Rock. Mike Bergman handling in the backcourt. Comes Renning. Down court pass. Harken swats it down, saves it on the wing. Gets it back to Michael. The Hawks will set it up. We've just begun the fourth period. Nelson with the ball. Free throw line extended right. Down-court pass. Harken swats it down, saves it on the wing. Gets it back to Michael. The Hawks will set it up. Answer with the ball. It's knocked out of his hands on the fourth period. Nelson with the ball. Free throw line extended right. Takes it in from 12. Shots off the iron. No good. Harken tries to answer with the ball. It's knocked out of his hands. Out of bounds. Last touch. Right, inbound comes to Bergman. He takes it into the block. Turns, spin, in the air, in the basket. Mike Bergman does that voodoo. He does so well.
Done it.
54-37. Hawks by 17 with 7:17 in the fourth. Out in front, downtown for three. That'll be short by Ames. Ball comes down. Helmers fighting for it. It's finally knocked out by Kavanaugh. Dug out. Ames keeps it alive.
Got to get out on the perimeter because they're going to start putting them up.
Monty Muller drives down the lane, puts up a little underhanded pitch that Mike Bergman will pull as it caroms off the iron, gets it back to Scooter Renning. Bounce pass far side. Helmers saves it. Down to 7 minutes of the game. 54-37. Waverly-Shell run. Joel Nelson on the wing. Top of the key. Harken. Right side, Michael in the corner. He'll take one step. Ball reach in from behind. Kavanaugh files Bergman.
Well, they're getting frustrated. They got to go for the ball. The referee is going to be watching for it pretty close now in this situation. So Ames in a very tough position.
54-37, WSR with 6:35 remaining in the fourth, and Mike Bergman on the line. One and one shown as Michael bounces 2-3-4. Ames shoots, makes it. Score escalates 55-37. Waverly-Shell Rock. 6:45 remaining. Oh, I tell you, I've had my clean hanky out in front of me for the last two periods just to get the sweat off my hands. Holy cow. Second one by Bergman is up and good. This is exciting tonight, friends. Down in the roundhouse where the Hawks are leading 56. Kavanaugh at the point. Rifles right side for Gabrielson. Finds cross-court X pass. Here's Hoiberg looking for three off the friendly iron. No. Harken rips the ball down. Has the man Isaacson across his back, but again, no harm, no foul. Outlet pass right, Mike Bergman. Standing in this forward zone. Goes deep in the corner, Joel Nelson. Ball is almost tipped loose from Nelson. Has to fire a high one out to Chris Helmers at the point, and the Hawks spread it out again. Free throw line extended left. Here's Harken. Turns to go down. Has it between his legs. Pulls it up. Feet goes inside, and it's what a game. Chris Helmers overshoots Mike Bergman.
There it is. Only instead of the first quarter, it's the fourth quarter this time.
Looked like we were going to duel with our index fingers. Coach Ray and I turned right away. Once. It happens once. 6:05 in the fourth. In the lane, Isaacson. Hook shots up, no. Rebounds his own. Renning gets a hand on the ball. Follow-up won't drop. Blocked by Bergman. Isaacson pitches out left, and it's stolen away by Scott Renning. Kavanaugh kicks the ball loose from him. No foul. Hansen pulls it up and lays it in the basket.
Well, I thought he...
6:39, WSR. Mike Bergman across the timeline. He'll take it deep in the corner left. Draws some traffic over there. Gets it back out front to Helmers. Michael in the corner. Looks to go into Harken, but he's being fronted. Instead, they go Nelson on the wing. Controlled by Renning. Right side in feed goes for Harken. Ball is tipped loose. Hoiberg got it. Bad pass inside. 56-39. Ames with the ball back. Hawks have the lead. 5:25 of the fourth. Deep in the corner left side. A lack of concentration on the down floor pass for Brian Hansen, and it goes out of bounds. And I think he really didn't look the ball into his hand.
Oh, that happens so often, and you teach it, you coach it every day, but in a big ball game, you're in a little bit of a hurry, and you take your eye off of it and try to do something with it before you catch it. You've got to catch it before you can dribble it, shoot it, or pass it. Very simple. Sounds simple, but when you get out there in game situations, it's tough, and you're going to make a few mistakes like that.
Mike Bergman and Hoiberg will work one-on-one against the press. Now they pass it to Andy Ott, fresh guard in the ball game. We're in the forward court. Bounce pass right side for Scooter Renning. Looks in. Nelson is guarded closely. Renning on the wing left. Goes top of the key for Harken. Matt takes one drive towards the dotted line. Comes back out to the right side for Renning. Top of the key for Andy Ott. Andy, left side, goes down Michael. Hoiberg makes a move on Michael. He takes a 15-foot J. Rattles in and out, no good. Hoiberg on the rebound. They got a fast break. Outlet pass down the floor on the fly. Here goes a layup by Langston. That's in, and it's good. Langston scores. The lead shrinks now to 15. 56-41 go. Hawks 4:48 remaining. Mike Bergman in the backcourt. Trapped. Ball tapped loose from behind. Out of bounds. Last touch by Ames.
Got to protect the ball a little more aggressive. Got to protect the ball just a little more aggressive.
Renning will inbound for Waverly-Shell Rock. Long pass. Matt Harken comes up to inbounds it. Chant of Let's Go Hawks in the background from the faithful as Andy Ott will bring it across the timeline and puts a high pass for Renning on the wing. Feed goes inside Mike Bergman. Bad pass again. Hoiberg is there. They're going to front him. They're going to deny the ball now. 15.
Bob, they're too far out to throw that lob pass. They got to take it around the man and then throw it. Get it a little closer.
Kavanaugh three-point off the rim. No, deep in the corner right. Gabrielson rebounds. Brings it out top of the key. Langston fakes right, goes left, drives lane. Shot is up underhanded. No good. Rebound comes down Nelson. Reaching in foul. Hack on Mike Bergman with 4:17 in the ball game. Mike Bergman has just drawn his fourth foul.
Bud wants a timeout.
And he should take one and calm down his ball club. We've got a 56-41 lead. That does not put Ames on the line. That will be our fourth foul. And we'll be back with continuing coverage in a moment of Waverly-Shell Rock. Mike is on the bench, by the way, so Harken and Nelson will handle the low post. On the free throw line will go Adam Langston. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Waverly Newspapers. Also a thank you to your Napa man, Dorfman Auto in Waverly, and Kentucky Fried Chicken of Waverly. With a 56-41 Waverly-Shell Rock lead, Langston on the line for two. First shot is good.
Bob, this is a very tough part for Waverly to play defense because Ames becomes very aggressive and they take it to the ball of the hole because they know that Waverly don't want to foul and stop the clock. It's very tough in this situation. People don't realize that when you're that far ahead, it's tough to play defense.
Langston scores his second. It's 56-43 Go Hawks. Joe Bock in the ball game for WSR, handling on the press. Exits it across to Harken, hands off to Andy. Hart sets the pick, and Andy brings Andy out, snares it deep in the corner. Kavanaugh, Andy out, takes the baseline. Jay skims in and out. No. Bock will hit it out. Harken saves it in the corner.
What a save.
Woo!
Boy, we needed the ball there.
Nelson keeps it alive then. Harken really kept it alive, got it out to Nelson. Andy with it, bouncing back and forth, almost slips and stumbles. Bounce pass goes high. Pass goes in the corner right side for Renning. Top of the key, Joel Nelson. 3:40 remaining. Hawks lead 56-43. Saved and out of bounds there. Goes on the right wing. Harken brings it out in front to Andy Ott. Returns back to Harken. He'll take it down to the baseline. 15-foot. Jay is in the basket.
Whoa, a sophomore knocked that big one down.
The sophomore. Harken, he'll take it down to the baseline, 15-foot. Jay is in the basket.
Whoa, a sophomore knocked that big one down.
The sophomore hit a very big one for his 10th point. The Hawks are up 58-43 with 3:14. Feed into Hoiberg. Shot is up. Hoiberg's on his back. Foul on Nelson. What a collision.
Yeah, he came in from behind, tried to get the ball away from him.
And they're about the same size. Hoiberg, a tall, muscular young man. Joel Nelson with those broad shoulders.
Yeah, Joel might be, an inch or so taller, but not much.
You know, between Mason City, Ames, and then the development of the Waverly-Shell Rock guys, we've seen some pretty good-sized post people in the last two ball games.
Yeah, and some excellent players and some excellent young players.
Oh, I shudder to think of the ability, the potential of some of those young players we saw with Mason City. But they I don't know about their post people, though. They're going to have good guards next year.
You know, I think Iowa's basketball is getting better, Bob. Than 20 years ago when I first started coaching, even a little bit before that, Iowa basketball was laughed at in the United States, and I don't think it is anymore.
On the free throw line, Hoiberg will miss his first shot. It does not go through. 3:12 remains in the game, 58-44 in Des Moines. Next Monday night, we've got the Northern University Little Panthers on the radio and Wapsie Valley. Hoiberg's shot is up. His second one is good. That gives him 9 points. On the pressure, inbounds pass comes to Bock. Back to Renning, pushing up the floor. Long cross-court pass. Here's Harken. Pulls up underneath. Lays it up and in.
That was a nice pass down there all alone underneath.
Breaking the back of the press. 60-44. WSR leading. Pass goes inside. Isaacson tipped loose. Oh, nice save. Baseline right. Give the credit to Mike Gabrielson. Fell right into his hands, and he pushes it in for his first 2 points. 60-46 Hawks. Bock goes back to Andy in the middle. Andy against pressure. Comes to Joel Nelson. Steps into the forward court. Fires to Renning on the right wing. Renning protects the basketball. Bounce pass out in front for Otter. It's 60-46 Hawks. 2:38 remains. Bounce pass right-hand side for Renning. Goes to Harken at the point. Left side, Joe Bock on the wing. Reaching in foul on Hoiberg, though, as Harken released the basketball.
Yeah, they're going to start having to stop the clock now because I think Waverly's in what they call a semi-delay. They're spreading the court, running a passing game, and they'll take the two if they get the wide-open shot, but they'd rather run the clock down.
60-46, WSR with the advantage. 2:33 remaining. We've got our wireless technology here tonight, and at the conclusion of the game, if the Go Hawks can hang on and pull out a win, we'll be down in the middle of the Melee and look for Bud Bergman. It's always a highlight point of the year for me when I can celebrate just like we did with Marty McCowan from Wapsie Valley with his fine team going to state tournament next Monday.
You bet. The thrill that a high school player can get is to reaching the state tournament, and that's what 300 and some schools start out to do, and only a few get a chance to do it.
Matt Harken sinks 1 of 2. Second one goes off the rim and the top of the backboard. Rebound Hoiberg of Ames. Left side bounce pass Gabrielson. Tries to feed into the middle of the lane to Isaacson. Ball is knocked out of bounds. Defense by the Hawks. Ball belongs to Ames. 2:25 remaining in the fourth. It's 61-46 WSR.
Well, we're not getting a weak side drop on that zone, on that 1-2-2 zone, and that's why they're getting some backside boards on us.
Isaacson three-pointer on the inbounds is no good. Kavanaugh rebounds, dumps off Isaacson in the paint, puts up a 10-footer in the middle of the lane. It is good. 14 points for Jeff Isaacson. 61-48 Hawks with 2:11. Steele on the inbounds, but Hoiberg was across the line when he did it.
That was a late call. I didn't know if they were going to call it or not.
Ball belongs Waverly-Shell Rock, enemy territory, baseline left. Renning to inbounds. High one goes for Mike Bergman back in the ball game. Michael sets it down, slow and easy, gets back to Scooter. He'll come across the timeline, double ring. Had pressure before and behind.
You didn't have to rush it down the court. You got 10 seconds. That's a long time to get her across.
And a 13-point lead, 61-48 with 2:01 showing. Isaacson takes it to the paint zone. Shots up, basket counts, foul called, pushing on Harken.
Hey, it's down to... It could be down to 10 here if he hits this free throw. It's not over yet.
No, it's never over at this caliber of ball and at this type of a game. Harken on the line, or Harken with his second foul. Isaacson on the line for Ames.
It just seems like Waverly gets a lead and they just kind of, they back off a little bit, and the other team keeps coming at you. And I think you got to continue after him. Ames called a timeout, Bob.
Isaacson sinks the shot. It is now a 10-point ball game, 61-51, 1:57 remains. And we'll be back after these two messages. You're listening to Waverly-Shell Rock in the tournament. On the full court pressure, get it across the timeline. Helmers to Amiot deep in the corner right, so we're back in the offensive zone. Otter feeds in. Michael brings it out top of the key for Scott Renning. Looks to his right, brings to Amiot. Back out front to Scott Renning. Lots of pressure by Isaacson. Comes right-hand side. Isaacson reaches in from behind, draws the foul. At foul, you try to go to your people that are going to do the least bit of harm.
Yeah, you do. You really do. But I'll tell you, in a tournament game, you can foul the worst free throw shooter, and he can go up there and knock two down and beat you, or you can foul the best shooter, which happened to us at El Cater once. I think he was shooting 92% for the year, and he missed 4 in a row. And we beat him in double overtime.
Scott Renning makes this one, though, for his third point in the ball game and puts us up by 11, 62-51 with 1:41 remaining. Change of personnel for the Cyclones. Monty Muller checks in the ball game. Out goes Gabrielson. Checked out Hansen. Renning on the line for the second of the 1-and-1, and this one comes off the iron. No, ball is tipped up. Joel Nelson rebounds. Waverly-Shell Rock, 4 people on him. He gets the outlet to Helmers. Hawks keep the ball. Helmers by the hash mark, boxed in tight. Ball is knocked loose out of bounds. Last belonged. It still belongs to Waverly-Shell Rock. Monty Muller was pointing east, and Helmers was pointing west, or north and south. Ball belongs Hawks in the forward court. And the yacht gets it into Helmers just as he comes across the timeline, almost over and back. Helmers once again drives in, reach around from behind. Monty Muller draws his second. Chris Helmers back to the line with 1.5 minutes remaining at 62-51 WSR.
That was as close to over and back as you're going to want to see. I'll tell you, Joel Nelson has come up with some big rebounds, some big baskets, some big rebounds.
Big point there by Chris Helmers as he walks up and sinks the first free throw and puts the Hawks back up by a dozen. 63-51 with 1:29 in the game. Helmers' second shot is nothing but net, baby. Nothing but net. We're up 64-13 with 1:28 remaining. Cavanaugh dashes down the floor. He wants a long three. Rings the bell from 22 feet.
Well, we heard they could do that, and I'm surprised, they're waiting until now to get it done.
10-point ball game again with 1:21 remaining. A lot of time. The dome is filled near capacity tonight. Fans from all over the central part of the state came to see this one. Inbounds pass, and the yacht pushes it down the floor for Helmers. Ball is knocked by Cavanaugh, out of bounds, last touch by Ames. They're really going for the basketball better than any team I've seen all season long.
Yeah, they really are. They got quick hands. They're quick. And, of course, now it's desperation that makes you even quicker, so it's makes it very difficult.
Inbounds pass. Hoiberg steals it away from Mike Bergman, and Hoiberg draws the foul. That'll be 4 on Fred Hoiberg.
Well, I don't know how many points the young sophomores had, but he's had trouble with Waverly-Shell Rock's height tonight, I'll tell you that. They've really intimidated him.
He's got 9. 3 field goals and 3 free throws.
Well, he's averaging, what, 24?
Yeah, they've done a job on him. 64-54, Hawks by 10. Mike Bergman on the line with 1:16. First shot is good.
Well, I've seen Bergman's teams do a lot of job numbers defensively on a lot of teams throughout the years. I think he's one of the best defensive coaches in the state of Iowa.
65-54 Hawks, 1:16 away from Betts. Second shot is on the wall. Michael got it. 4 straight free throws for Mike Bergman. 6, and there'll be a possible foul. Yes, foul on Joel Nelson.
Don't want to give him a chance for 3 in there. Let him have 2, but don't give him 3, Joel.
Nelson with the foul.
Even though you're a rich man now.
That's right.
It's like signing a pro contract.
His mother, $650 in the People's Choice on 99 FM this morning, and he's hollering in the background, telling Mama how much it is, and they won over in Shell Rock, big time. Isaacson on the line, sinks the shot. 18 points, Isaacson. He's the leading scorer for the Cyclones. 66-55. Second shot rims no. Nelson rebounds, outlets for Andy on. Kavanaugh on him tight. Andy in traffic. Long down court pass. 6-7. Mike Bergman saves it. We got a 2-on-1. Bounce pass goes Nelson. Takes it to the basket. Pushes it in, and we score.
Okay, he might have got the 3, or the 2, or the 3. Who made the pass? Bergman. An assist.
And a foul called on the play. Joel Nelson drew a foul also. And the foul goes to reserve Jensen of Ames. And Nelson's on the line with 58 seconds remaining, and the Hawks up by 13, and this place is going crazy.
I think they smell it, don't you?
You betcha. Timeout called by the Ames Cyclones, and we'll be back. Stay tuned for continuing coverage in a minute of Waverly-Shell Rock in the tournament.
Through another 10 songs in a row.
That will enrich your
available from other companies and at a fair rate. Your agent is a local man who knows your needs. Claims are settled promptly, fairly, and directly with skillful, experienced local adjusters. Bremer County Mutual provides modern farm mutual insurance coverage to help make up for financial loss to you if disaster does strike.
Joel Nelson is on the line. The Hawks lead 68-55 with 58 seconds remaining, and Nelson will have the shot rim in and out no. Rebound Jensen on the right side as Ames brings it down. Renning looking for Michael. He takes the pass in midair and dashes to the basket and twists and turns and lays it in on the fly. Hawks are up 70-55. Three-pointer Jensen out front, no. Rebounds baseline right. Turned around, makes a 12-footer, and it's good.
Take your time, let it.
Jensen is first 2. Half a minute remains. Hawks are leading. Outlet pass, half court. Mike Bergman catches it, steps out of bounds. 25 seconds left. It's 70-57 WSR. Take your time, gentlemen. You got plenty of it. Inbounds pass comes to Jensen. He'll try another 3, and he'll ring it.
They do
70-59 with 19 seconds. Bergman gets the inbounds pass, turns around, and Monty Muller blocks him, and that will be 3 on Muller.
Well, I'll tell you, Ames has got some great range on those three-pointers, and I'm surprised they didn't crank it up earlier. I just think they were awful tentative and give Bud a great job at defensive coaching and keep Ames off balance, because just looking at Ames right now, they're as good as they said they were.
Score stands 70-60. Waverly-Shell Rock by 10 with 17 seconds left. Mike Bergman is on the free throw line. No rebounders in position for Waverly-Shell Rock for obvious reasons. Bergman's first shot is in there. $30 points for Mike Bergman tonight.
Denner just gave Bergman a little pat, so that must mean you got her, buddy.
Next one is up, Michael, with now 31. 72-60, Hawks, 15 seconds remaining. Kavanaugh for three. Back iron, no. Bergman fights rebound. Ball loose. Nelson clears it. Comes to Andy. Fast break, Nelson. He'll fire for Scooter. Renning on the slam. No, he lays it up underhanded and scores with 3 seconds. And it is going to be knocked loose. 1 second remaining, and the officials will call time for Ames to get the ball in for one last pass, but I don't care if they let him throw it down the floor. Waverly-Shell Rock is going to Des Moines, and you're going to hear it right here on KWAY and 99 FM. The ball game is over. The Waverly-Shell Rocks are tournament bound, 74-60 over Ames. And we'll be back and join in the melee down at mid-floor after this 2-minute timeout stations. Let's take a 2-minute break. You're listening to Waverly-Shell Rock in the tournament.
Spawn and Rose Lumber cures